Are you fucking kidding me? Did this really happen? I should have known this was gonna happen, but it did, and... Oh, my God. Why? Why did this have to... Okay, Lunar Spiral 1127 here, bringing you Fairy Tail Chapter 296, Natsu versus the Two Dragons. Yeah, this chapter, oh my God, I can't believe... Now, before I begin the review, I want to say one thing. This is my opinion alone of how I feel about this chapter. This is just me expressing my thoughts on this chapter. If you like this chapter, if you're a huge fan of Fairy Tail, then don't listen to my rant, because I'm going to go on a rant on this. Alright, so let's get started. So the chapter begins with Natsu facing off against Rogue and Sting, but one of the good things about this chapter, we see a mysterious person watching the match, and this person is actually crying. It's gotta be Zaref. It has to be. I mean, seriously, it has to be. I mean, who else could this person possibly be? And it was also the person with the mysterious dark magic that Jalal and the others were searching for. And speaking of Jalal, he managed to sense that magic, along with Melody and Ultir. And Jalal is gonna go find this person. So what do you know? Zaref has been here the whole time. At least I think it's Zaref, but it's gotta be. I mean, Zaref, when he saw Natsu, he cried. So he's gotta be crying now. I think it's either that or it's Yukino. I don't know. But I'm gonna go on a limb and say it's Zaref. Anyway, back to the match. Sting and Rogue, they're pretty pissed off that Natsu claimed that he's enough to face against both of them. And Rogue, he doesn't care about Natsu, he just wants to fight against Gajeel. Which, by the way, I'm gonna say this. In this entire chapter, Gajeel doesn't come back and fight. It's just Natsu and these two. So, Gajeel got trolled. Thanks a lot, hero. Thanks a freaking lot. Anyway, okay, Rogue and Sting activate their Dragon Force. And I'm guessing they're really angry that Natsu's, going to face against both of them alone. So the fight begins, and I'll admit, the fight was pretty good. I did enjoy this fight, I just didn't enjoy how it went. The fight was good on its own, but I didn't like how it went. So, Sting has gotten really angry, and he claimed that he killed Vice Logia in his Dragon Force mode. So, okay, Vice Logia was, I'm guessing, the Holy Light Dragon, and the Sky Drum was the Shadow Dragon. Alright. In one panel, Natsu says that wasn't it complete? I guess this was after Sting said, Dragon Force is the same as a dragon's power. Nothing excels it in his world. So, was Sting's Dragon Force incomplete or something? Because he says, wasn't it complete? I'm not really sure what this meant. I'm reading Manga Reader's translation. Natsu says, I see. Then I'll use this power to fight for my friends that you made fun of. He manages to punch Sting. Rogue tries to attack Natsu with Shadow Dragon's Roar, but Natsu counters that with the Fire Dragon's Roar. And by the way, both of them are in Dragon Force. Natsu is not in Dragon Force. He's not using the lightning power-up he got from Loxus. He's fighting him on his own without any enhanced abilities. Well, he does show a new technique, which I thought was pretty cool. One of the good things about the chapter, but I'm going to get to that later. Anyway, he manages to blow away Rogue with Fire Dragon's Roar. And, the fight's continuing, and Natsu is actually beating the crap out of both Rogue and Sting, who are both in their freaking Dragon Force mode, while everybody is looking. Okay. I will admit that seeing Natsu fighting was pretty cool and all, but I didn't like how it went. Anyway, while everybody was looking, Lecter starts crying over his friend who's losing, and we get this flashback, which honestly, I didn't care about this flashback. This doesn't show anything new about Sting himself. I mean, okay, yes, Lecter met Sting. He wants to become a student and become strong for some reason, and I'm guessing the only good thing I could say about this flashback was when Sting asked Lecter that if he was scared of him. So maybe he was, I don't know, people feared him because he killed a dragon. I don't freaking know. In that flashback, Sting accepts Lecter as his fellow Exceed/student, and during the fights, Rogue and Sting decides to combine their powers using Unison Raid to create the Holy Shadow Dragon's Lightning Fang, which I thought was pretty badass. Natsu uses Dragonslayer Ultimate Technique, Crimson Lotus Exploding Flame Blade. I'll admit that move is pretty cool because he uses his flames to create this swirling, spiraling fire towards Rogue and Sting, which knocks them back, which I thought was pretty cool. I will admit that. But then, while this fight, Mavis kept thinking, this is just ridiculous. There's a wall that can't be destroyed with just power. However, there is a type of power that can destroy that wall, the power of Felix. So Natsu was able to beat both Rogue and Sting, who are, by the way, in their Dragon Force mode, using Unison Raid with just the power of his feelings. Yeah, I don't know how to make that. I don't know what it is about Mavis that annoys me so much about her, but anyway, yeah, massive explosion happens, and both Sting and Rogue are taken down, and Natsu wins the fight, and Fairy Tail now is officially in first place in 1 point of the Grand Magic Games, and that's the end of the chapter. So, yeah, what did I think about this chapter? Well, the fangirl in me liked it because of the fights, but the logical side of me says no. And to be honest, I'm gonna agree with my logical side because what the freaking hell? I know Natsu is the main character and all, and I don't hate Natsu or anything, but he faced off against 2 Dragonslayers, 3rd generation Dragonslayers, mind you, both in Dragon Force mode, and he managed to beat the living shits out of them with not even in his own Dragon Force mode or using the lightning power-up he got from Loxus, just in his basic form. Yeah, he used an ultimate technique, which I thought was pretty cool and all, but what the freaking hell? I can understand him maybe beating Sting because he knew about how he attacked, but most of the time during this fight, Gajeel was facing off against Rogue. So Natsu didn't know any of, well, maybe Natsu did know Rogue's techniques, but he didn't know like how he was fighting. And also, we got trolled again. First, let's see who got trolled first. Oh, Bacchus got trolled. Raventail got trolled. Juvia got trolled. Gajeel got trolled. He gets pushed aside and he doesn't even get to fight. I wanted to see how Gajeel improved during his 3 months of training because he's one of the few people in Fairy Tail that actually trained his ass off. Natsu spent 1 day training, the rest of the months partying in the Celestial Spirit World. Granted, he didn't know that it was going to take 3 months, so it's not his fault. Then he gets the second magic jar thing, I don't remember, from Ultir, the power-up. And, just because of that, he was able to beat 2 Dragonslayers. 2 3rd generation Dragonslayers. Are you freaking kidding me? So yeah, did I like this chapter? Yes and no. I mean, yeah, there were a few good moments in this chapter, but most of this, I just can't believe it. I know Natsu is the main character, but the power of just your feelings alone isn't really enough to beat these guys. But then, what am I freaking expect? This chapter alone made me, I'm like this close of dropping the series, but I'm not gonna drop it because, one, I still enjoy it deep down. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. And 2, I want to learn more about Seraph. And 3, I want to learn more about the dragons and the moon eclipse plan and what Arcadios is gonna do. So yeah, there's still some things that I want to know about Fairy Tail, which is why I'm still gonna keep reading about it. But overall, this chapter, it wasn't. The fight was good, yes, but this isn't how I wanted it to end. I don't mind Fairy Tail winning. I really don't. But how they won, I didn't like it because Natsu beating both of them? No. Why couldn't, if he was facing off against both of them, couldn't he have at least struggled a little bit and managed to win, using the full extent of his powers? Maybe he did use the full extent of his powers or something, but he didn't have to resort to the lightning ability that he got. No Dragon Force or anything. And Gajeel gets pushed aside. And what was wrong with Natsu and Gajeel working together, teaming up to face off against Rogue and Sting, beating them together? What was wrong with that? Why couldn't that happen? Instead of Natsu beating both of them, it's just... God, this I haven't been this frustrated in a Fairy Tail chapter for so long. Aside from the one when Juvia got trolled, that was aside from that one time, this chapter, So, I don't know what to give it. On one hand, I did like the fights, but on the other hand, I didn't like how the fight went and how it ended. So I'm on a stalemate here, so I'm just not going to give this a rating. I don't know what to give it. Next week's chapter is called The Face of the Girl That I Saw That Time. I don't know what this chapter is going to be about, but since this is the final match of day 4, we're probably going to get to the evening of day 4, and the chapter after that, 298, we'll get to day 5, where the entire team faces off against another team. So who Fairy Tail is going to face off now, I have no idea. So let's see, since this is the 4th and the plan is going to continue off July 7th, I'm assuming we got 2 more days, 3 more days, I'm not really sure, until the Zodiac plan goes into motion. I'm actually hoping to see Jalal finding the mysterious person, which I'm assuming is Seraph. Or Yukino. Those two, I think they're the only ones that, aside from the Fairy Tail Guild members, that might be so moved by Natsu. Again, what the hell, Hero? Both Sting and Rogue, they've been built up ever since after the 7-year time skip. They've been built up to become these really strong characters. They probably, I don't know if they spent the entire 7 years training, but they've probably spent many years training. Natsu, on the other hand, spent 7 years unconscious on an island. I'm just really frustrated with this chapter, so you know what? I'm just hoping next week's chapter a little bit better. Or maybe, I don't know, I don't know what I'm hoping for. This is the closest I've ever been to dropping Fairy Tail. I know Fairy Tail has its problems, but this is ridiculous. I can't. Alright, well, anyway, that's, Fairy Tail chapter 296, I'm gonna spar 1127, and I'll see you guys later. Hero, quit trolling characters! Oy.